Good evening and welcome back to Star Trek Reliant. I'm Bazak and I'll be your GM for today. With me are some various people, including our captain.
Lo, I have somehow become captain of the starship, even though I was just the cabin boy stowed away on a training cruise. Don't tell anyone, I think they'll keelhaul me.
And we have our first officer slash chief medical officer.
Hey, that's me.
That is certainly you. And we also have our resident pirate.
Yo ho, it's a pirate's life for me. I am Chorog, the resident security, asset relocation specialist, and part-time tardigrade wrangler.
And last but definitely not least, our, let's say, all-around character, con officer, and various other roles.
Oh God, who's driving? I'm driving. Oh God.
You are spinning the wheel of doom that is controlling the ship. And
Can we actually call the helm the Wheel of Doom at this point now? I think it's official.
Okay.
I mean, it just gives Kara yet another reason to give people dirty looks.
Alright, so we start with a... in transit. The Reliant is once again on one of its exploratory missions, moving from one starship, one system to another. Still got about another day or so before it reaches its next designated stop. What are the crew doing in the meantime?
I think it says a lot about Kara that the first thing that came to mind was as little as possible.
So, Graves, what is Setsa making Kara do?
So, Setsa is currently having a family meeting in their quarters with Kieran and Sabato. And she is currently trying to teach them how to play Scrabble.
Are Kara and Nala there, or is this more of just the three siblings?
Kara and Nala are also there, although Kara may be trying her best not to be there while simultaneously there.
I like to feel like the room is divided in two, Kieran and Kara on one side being uncomfortable, and then Sabatu and Setsa on the other looking very into this. Kara sighs, so is this only going to be related to Ibby words, or...
Well, Set says, well, I think we can do any words that we know. They have to be real words. Like, they have to be in language use. We can't just make up a word and then put it on the internet and say, I've made up a word, or this is a real word because I've just edited it. We'll check the edit histories.
Kara nods and looks over at Kieran. Hey, want to see who knows more curse words? Kieran just kind of snorts and says, I'm connected to the internet. I can learn all sorts of curse words.
Setsa says, all right, for way of illustration, I will go first, and places a B. There's a B there. She follows it up with a U-M-S. Ums.
Just for my own sake, can I get everyone to do, let's say, a reason, science, engineering? Science or engineering or command. I'll allow any of the three.
Just in their situation or like everyone?
Just for them.
Okay, just wanted to make
All
sure.
right. I'm just going to do a roll for Sabatu while I'm looking up Setsa. I'm being tricky and using two computers.
Kara gets 1 success, Kieran gets 2.
And then for Setsa, there we go. Focus applies. Would information systems or creative problem solving or anthropology come into play?
I'd say creative problem solving.
Yeah, like, I'm actually sort of more leaning in towards the anthropology, because there is sort of linguistic and cultural stuff with that.
Got it. 1 success, 1 complication for Setsa.
Alright, could you roll for Sabatu?
That was the first one.
Oh, that was the first
So
one.
she got 2 successes.
Okay, so Sabatu and Kara really sort of like do well. Kieran is just he just never really sort of.
Well, actually, you have that backwards. Kieran had more successes, so
Oh.
Kieran and Sabatu both do really well.
Okay, Kieran and Sabatu do really well. Setsa is doing fine, not to the same extent, but she gets into a bit of an argument with the others about a word that she thinks is actually legit, but turns out isn't. And she has to sort of, yeah, she tries to make the word spanky pants, it's not a word, so, she has to make do with a rather low value word. And it's not a rather uplifting little bit that she has to sort of take a bit of a pout with.
Cut the camera over to where Kieran and Kara are sitting, and they're mirroring each other, both holding onto the bridge of their nose.
What's the target for Kieran was 16. What's the target for Kara? 15. So I'll give this a slight lean edge to Kieran, being the hologram is and sort of access to the computer systems. He does just that little bit more better than Kara. So that was the end result of the little Scrabble test. What's Graves doing in the meantime?
Graves is sitting in the corner of the same room with a book.
All right.
Kieran just points over. So is he family too?
Setsa just kind of blinks, looks to Kieran and says, well, he's a friend who,
I noticed that the color on your cheeks is rising, as is your body temperature. Are you well?
I believe I'm well. Yeah, it's just complicated.
Kara, meanwhile, snorts as Kieran just continues to needle her, saying, yes, your heart rate has increased. I do believe you're suffering some sort of anxiety. Or stress, perhaps.
Can we change the subject?
Kara giggles and says, no.
Graves slowly turns a page in his book, still looking down at the book. Setsa looks over and says, like, we're kind of... And she doesn't quite know why she's, like, so flustered in this context, but she says, we're kind of, seeing each other, and Graves turns another page, slowly.
Kieran nods. Ah, so this is your mate. I do wonder how a combined human-Ibby child would look. I do wonder if your augmentations will carry over during the breeding process.
Sets a squeeze and it jumps behind the couch.
Kara just looks over at Kieran, slaps him on the shoulder and says, I like you.
That's a pokes out from behind the couch. Glances over at Graves, and Graves is still reading.
So I think we can consider this to be, and Kara looks over, Setsa withdrawing from the game.
Graves says, indeed so.
Oh hey, you're actually listening.
Yep. It's not a terribly large set of quarters.
Kieran looks over. Interesting. His heart rate has not changed at all.
Yeah, Graves says, I've dealt with intensive negotiation processes before with, the Reliant Syndicate. I'll share once, but that was by accident. Of course, Starfleet, Nausicaan pirate gangs, various corporations. So yeah, I've got a pretty good track record of keeping a lid under my reactions.
Kieran rubs his forehead. Were all those breeding negotiations as well?
Graves blinks. Setsa gives Graves a look. Well? Graves, no, none of them were. And he is starting to blush a little bit.
Ah, there's the stress.
Alrighty, what is Dr. O'Connor doing right now?
He is up on in the ready room up near the bridge, with a glass of beer, sitting at a table as he's working on the rifle that he had bought a while ago. Definitely from this timeline rifle. Nothing strange about that. It's hooked up to some wires and one of those nice little Starfleet laptops.
Are you doing any work on it, or you just got there connected?
Oh, doing work on it too, you know. Sometimes he waves a thing over it, wave a light over it, you know, just a little bit of, just wave a light over it.
Yeah, just the light at the end of an implement that might emit some sonic pulses.
Oh, might do something like that, yeah.
All right. Do you want to? Is there anything you want to accomplish, like research-wise, with it, or is it just sort of for flavor?
Yeah, there's research going on, but the research is for flavor.
Okay.
I'll say that while Eli's doing this, John, for the first time ever, has been given the bridge. He's sitting in the captain's chair, vibrating slightly. He's excited and he's nervous. He's got the bridge.
Ensign Moon shifts in his seat slightly, wondering exactly how far down the command chain exactly John is.
Oh, he's Lieutenant Junior grade at this point.
No, I meant in the list of, first officer, second officer, third officer.
Oh, he's got to be third officer.
Hey.
Crap, might be.
Hey!
No, I think, Kara's got there. I think he's like 5th or 6th, technically.
Bryce is 3rd, so I think Kara's 4th.
You better hope I don't get in charge. I'm demoting all of you.
I mean, it's John. You can let little tardigrade have the bridge. Like, he's like gripping onto the armrests like really tightly. Don't look out. There could be Klingons.
There are no Klingons that appear on sensors or any other things. It is a very smooth and calm ride. Nothing appears on the sensors. No anomalies, no rattles or shakes or anything that might seem to be any kind of danger, even remotely on the horizon.
Hey, you know what? Since you were offering before, I think I would like to actively do something with the whole what Eli's doing.
Yep.
I would like to try to find matches or anything that comes close to it, to the OS system that's on the rifle. So, since it's, special rifle, see if there's anything in any archives, anything that might or might not be restricted. I'm also going to type something, so...
I'm debating whether it's insight or reason.
I would go insight.
Yeah, let's do an insight. I'll do security for this.
Can I get reason instead, please?
Nah. I think this has to be reason. I mean, what's the logic for reason?
I am reasoning my way through, comparisons. You gotta reason out that math and numbers.
Need to know which databases to look through.
Yeah, I'd say that's.
Oh, you know what? Because I'm a kind DM, I'll allow you to do reason.
Alright, and what's the discipline?
I'll allow security or engineering.
Alright, I'm going engineering, and I'm using my talent. I'm a doctor, not an engineer, which lets me use medical instead of engineering. You utter fool!
How different is your insight and reason?
Literally only one, but I need everything I can.
I was just looking at that, like, I was expecting it to be like 7 versus 11. It's like 9 and 10. Oh.
As Martok says, consider every weapon.
I mean, that may have made the difference there.
Yeah, that definitely made the difference. I mean, those would not have been successes if it had been 1 point different.
Oh, yeah. Target 15.
I mean, he's using medicine for his discipline. If the roll is 10...
No, technically it's engineering, but I can use my medicine as engineering.
Yeah. So, successfully you're able to access, to figure out with methodical trial and error how to access the computer systems on this thing, and accessing, what are you trying to access specifically?
I'm trying to compare these to like Starfleet or other archives that have similar things to get some kind of idea of what this is, where it's from. It says Starfleet, but it doesn't look like any Starfleet model I've ever seen. Hell, I'll even go to Ferengi databases if I have to pay.
Okay, so you do get some details from it, model numbers, dates of manufacturer, locations, like sort of like a log of just how it's been used and where, and you're able to look up those details from the logs and able to confirm none of these details match anything that's in the current. I mean, there's phases. It's definitely a phaser. This manufacturer never did this kind of model, particularly at that time.
No, there's nothing in the 23rd century that looks like this rifle.
Yeah, it's just something that shouldn't exist as far as you can find out.
Fascinating. Eli says before, chugging his beer.
All right, that comes up to Chorog. What is Chorog doing?
Chorog is currently in his quarters. He is messing around with his mask. He's doing some upgrades on it. He's also taking small sips from a metal goblet containing a very foul-smelling liquid and is gargling it. Oh, you really did this time, Chorog. You really screwed up. He said to himself as he's messing with his mask. He's trying to update the universal translator so that it has a voice modulation unit on it.
All right. Give me a control engineering. Okay, getting on there. Duncan, could you set the momentum to 3 for me, please? You're able to put that module in without pretty much any hassle. Your mask is pretty much designed for it anyway, so it's just a fairly basic process. It's not trivial, but it's pretty easy to do without any problems.
And Chorog finally finishes the upgrade. Like, hopefully this is going to help. So I get better voice modulation out of this thing. Try to hide what I did to my voice. I'm not happy about it. I really screwed up. Boy, I really screwed up this time.
Alrighty, with that installed, it's not properly configured, but it's messing with you a bit. But it's installed and it's working. It's just not outputting what you want it to do just yet. So that brings us to DB Worlds. Eli, you're in the ready room, correct?
Yep.
As you're there working on the rifle, examining the rifle, a call from New Saw comes in through Starfleet Command channels. It's sort of officially yet unofficial piece of communication, if that makes sense.
Is it coming in on my laptop that I have the rifle hooked up to, or is it on like Graves' desktop thing on his desk?
It's coming through on Graves' desktop.
Ooh, that sounds like a whole lot of not my No, I'm kidding. Eli taps his comm badge. O'Connor to Graves.
Graves here.
You got a call. I'm about to pick it up.
He looks around. I'll be in my quarter shortly to take it. If you need to reroute.
It's here in the ready room.
Oh, I need to get up there first. It's a little bit quicker for me to get to my quarters. So, yeah, take the call, and then if you need to transfer it to me, I'll be on standby. All
right, I'll, hopefully this is something that you don't have to bother yourself with, but just in case, be ready. I'm getting you out of a situation, aren't I?
Graves just looks around the room. I don't know if I can answer that.
You don't need to. I could feel it. Like, literally feel it.
That says looking a little sad.
Kara just shouts over, "You're interrupting family time! Setsa's sad now!"
Graves, I'll be back shortly. Don't worry, GB. And he sets his head, says a little happier.
Still on the call, so yeah.
I'll be on standby. Or Graves out.
All right. Eli taps his comm badge and then sits at Graves' desk, answering the Skype call.
You see this sawmill, very like similar to Rick Tier, but mainly more like sort of like more bluey purpley, sort of like a modeling going on his face. You are not Graves. I'm trying to get on to the captain of the Reliant. This is the Reliant, correct?
It is. I'm the first officer. I could relay any message. Captain will need a minute or two, but you could just talk to me.
Yeah, you're Dr. O'Connor then, right?
That is correct.
Yes. Sort of relates to you and to the rest of the crew of the Reliant, but I am the chief psychologist looking out for the mirror counterpart of Yorick Tier, and during various sessions he has expressed some concerns about his treatment, and but that while he was on the Reliant. Now, normally we wouldn't be contacting you, but it is, well, these events have rather impacted his ability to progress, and we feel that it's necessary that he be able to deal with these various issues that have come up. As such, with the permission of Starfleet Command, we asked that you come to New Sol to meet with this mirror universe version of Rick Tier and help resolve some of these issues.
All right. Feel like this is a trap, not one that you're putting on. I feel like this might just be, roundabout way of getting us there for some kind of harebrained escape attempt. But I'll pass this along to the captain, and we'll see.
Well, I'm sure some of the various things that have been said is very much a matter of perspective, one might say, but others, such as your shall we say, intervention with his previous escape attempt, are far more certain. So unless so he is fortunately well within his rights to make accusations, and knowing the situation, I am told by Starfleet they would have no option but to investigate.
I mean, if Starfleet wished to run an investigation, we've already had a trial by an admiral, so I'll pass this as the captain.
Yes, of course. I will. My com codes are included. I've sent them through to you, so please make your decision known as soon as possible.
All right. O'Connor out.
And without the call-ins.
You contacts Graves again.
Graves here.
Hey, so you remember Mirror Rick Tier?
Yes.
Apparently, we're stifling his progress by, stopping him from killing himself, and then, the whole arm thing, so we gotta go to Nusar.
Alright, so...
Well, we don't have to, but, they're strongly recommending it.
I'm inclined to not leave the facility dealing with this on their own if there's something we're involved in as well.
I'm
Just 'cause,
definitely getting Garth of Izar vibes.
I mean, we're sure he hasn't taken control of the facility yet, correct?
I mean, you never know with these things.
All right. Well, I think we should still take a look into it. Very least we can have Waitley give his opinion to the local medical staff. And maybe our Rick can help as well.
All right, let's hope so. So, do you want me to have John set a course?
Yep, have John set a course. Gotta head back to the little family event in progress. But I'll be on the bridge in a little bit. In the meantime, let John have the day of his life right now.
Oh, he's definitely having it. I'm making progress with the rifle.
All right, sounds good.
It says it's 23rd century Starfleet, but I haven't seen a single thing like it.
Really? Not like, some prototype gear?
Not even in prototype files.
Interesting.
I found something kind of like it, but it's more like concentrated beam than beam bolts.
You're planning on fielding that, or is that a wall hanger?
I mean, I've already fielded it a few times. I don't see why I'd stop that.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Keep me informed, because that thing's pretty sweet.
The only thing that's really a wall hanger is my officer's sword. I only have that because my dad bought it for me.
Yeah. Got that Nausicaan sword in my quarters.
Hmm?
Oh, I've got a Nausicaan sword in my quarters.
Oh, right. I've seen it before. Anyway.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. So, definitely set a course, and we'll, check it on this.
Alright, go enjoy your family time.
Yep. I think Setsa needs emotional support after the last Scrabble game.
Scrabble. You're playing Scrabble?
They're playing Scrabble. I managed to occupy myself with the book. I'm hoping no one notices it's a technical manual for their fridge.
They're gonna notice.
I mean, Car's probably noticed by now.
You're gonna get called out.
We'll see.
Alright, I'm hold on a second. Eli says as he gets up, poking his head out. John.
Yeah. What was it? Is there Klingons?
No. Set course to Nusar.
Lieutenant Moon?
Sir?
That's our course for Nusar. Engage.
Aye, sir.
He points at the screen, then sits back and looks quite a bit more relaxed now.
Eli pokes his head back into the ready room and closes the door. All right, we're underway. It seems. So yeah, you enjoy family time. If you want to come check out rifle stuff, let me know. And if you know anybody that has like databases that could, possibly help connect some kind of history for this, please let me know.
I mean, if it's not coming up on Starfleet, I might ask Chorog. It'd be some black market stuff.
I think Ferengi might have something. Be it, just some random Ferengi, a collector, the Lobi consortium. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you'd think could be a Section 31 rifle.
No, I mean,
a custom thing, some operative put together.
Oh no, this has like a model number. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, check in with Chorog, but I gotta get back to family time.
Alright, enjoy family time.
Okay, so
channel closes.
Yeah, so first thing I got to point out, when John Junior Tardigrade pointed out to engage, they're already technically engaged at warp. So Moon has to basically stop, redirect the ship, aim for basically has to activate the transwarp drive to get to a transwarp gate that's the closest, and then move on from there. So it's a bit of a thing, but it's not too bad. It's not much of a. I mean, Moon's a professional, is what I'm trying to get at. It's more of a it's a bit of a process, but you get there. But Grays, when you get back to the Setzers and Kara's quarters, find them in the middle of the game of Twister.
Graves blinks.
I mean, as does Kara's player, really.
That's a calls out. All right, spin and hopefully no blue.
Kieran spins the board.
Here, I know how to do that. It's not a blue. The game proceeds without Setsa falling over.
All right. As the camera pans out a bit from the game of Twister, as there's a scene change. The Reliant is just coming out of warp in amongst the new source system. Is Moon driving or is Kara driving as they drop out of warp?
Well, I mean, apparently Car is involved in a Twister game.
Okay. Well, as they came in, one of the big astronavigational dangers or features of the new solar system is that there is sort of like a sphere, an asteroid sphere around the middle, around the ship. So instead of just like a belt, it's a full ball that is tumbling and rotating and moving, shifting as you approach. There is a navigation the channel that is kept clear by buoys of tractor beams that have basically traffic control pathways, channels for ships passing into and out of New Saw to go through.
John says, "Easy as it goes."
With the waypoints, can I get Moon to just do a basic control con for me?
I shall do this on. Okay.
He succeeds.
Another momentum for the group. Actually, no, that stays because the scene change has occurred, so it's technically still 3. So the Reliant just sort of gracefully glides through the channel towards New Saw and gets stopped, which once again the same Saw tries to reaches out towards the whoever's sitting in the ready room, if Eli's still there or the captain.
Graves will be up in the ready room by this point.
Eli is still there too.
So the desk on the computer beeps that there's the message communications hail coming in from New Saw.
Graves sits down, does the Picard maneuver, tucks his shirt, gets the wrinkles out, and hits the open channel button.
Captain Graves, thank you for coming. I am the chief, as I mentioned, Eli. I'm Dr. O'Connor. I'm sure he has briefed you on everything. If you could come down to my coordinates, I will brief you. We have a request here for Chorog for you, Dr. O'Connor, Kara Junrani, D.B. Wells, though I'm not sure particularly why Rick has asked specifically for him, but there's that, and your psychologist, your counselor, Waitley.
Would I have permission to bring anyone else?
Those are the... You have permission to come down to the facility with whomever you like, but due to the various circumstances, I don't think it would be wise to go from here to meet with the Mirror Universe counterpart of Rick Tier with any more people.
All right, understood. I'm going to bring additional security officer, and yeah, he can hang back while we take care of things with Mirror Rick.
All right. Please, for reasons which I will brief you in person with, I do request that you come down to these coordinates in a shuttlecraft.
All right.
And the coordinates sort of appear on the computers on the screen there.
All right, we can do that. Yeah, we should be down in just a little bit here.
All right, I will await your reply. We've got a landing pad ready and waiting, and I will be there to greet you.
Graves nods. All right, understood. See you soon. Graves out.
So, you get the same vibe I did, or am I just paranoid?
Here, let's check something. Graves will go ahead and check to see if there's been any unusual communications activity from Nusor, like including absences of communication.
Give me an insight command check.
Alrighty. A sec. Here we go. Dang, you Graves, you and your poor insight. Information gathering is a focus.
I will accept that.
Alrighty. This is a weird roll. 1 success.
I mean, that doesn't seem to be any more or less normal communications. You're not able to be certain, but nothing seems out of order.
Graves also check their landing coordinates.
Yeah, the landing coordinates are are sort of attached to sort of like a penal colony kind of thing. That it's sort of like the New Zealand like rehabilitation penal colony, whatever you want to call it, on Earth. But it's from what you can tell, that's where where the landing coordinates are taking you.
So not some like miscellaneous open agricultural field, which would immediately signal a trap.
Yes, no, not something that immediately signals a trap. Give me another insight command check, just for.
And this would also have information gathering, or is this general?
This would be what are your focuses in regards to
Information gathering and negotiations are kind of the only two, or hazardous operations and battlefield tactics.
You know what? I will allow battlefield tactics for this one for reasons.
Oh, just 1 success.
Okay, so with that, and the specific reason that they request you to come in via... you could definitely beam down to this location. So why would they ask you to come in as shuttlecraft unless they were going to... You were then going to go to another location, which likely couldn't beam out down to.
Graves kind of strokes his chin and says, I think we're going to have to jump around to another secure facility there, but I have some contingency plans in case this is a little bit of chicanery. So I think I've got that in mind, so all we really need to do is head down.
Alright, so you order up everyone to meet everyone named, which is everyone here plus Whaley.
Also, so John also arrives, and so does Setsa.
Okay.
Kara shows up, not really questioning why she's been asked. She checks her pistol while she's busy, prepping the shuttle for launch.
Setsa's wearing a con officer's uniform.
Just check. Am I alive?
You are alive. There we go.
Finally.
Very
Daniel just kind of arrives, looking a bit nervous, and just asks the closest person Do you think he knows it's me that tackled him that one time?
I mean, I guess that's a question. Have we been told why we're being summoned? I had assumed Kara had not been told.
Okay, so Graves will have said that there is a matter we need to attend to with Mirrick here down at the correctional facility he's being held at New Sor.
Oh, in that case, Kara is double-checking her gun and making sure it's not set for stun.
Do you think I should have brought my suit? And he just kind of fidgets nervously a bit. I'm gonna go back for my suit.
Zetsa says, "No, don't worry. You shouldn't have to do any EVs or deal with any hazardous radiations. Hopefully."
I get the feeling he just wants some armor between him and the outside world, Setsa.
I mean, we can go get him some armor. I think we have some armor in the shuttle. She opens up a hatch and like a few vests fall down on her.
Kara looks over, wondering how on earth that happened when everything was cleanly put away 2 seconds ago.
Objects move not just during flight, move at all times at random intervals. Overhead storage bins have quantum properties.
Kara just blinks, recites Newton's laws of motion, and goes back to what she's doing.
I guess Daniel picks one of the fallen, I forgot if they were jackets or vests off the floor.
And they're just going to be, armored security vests.
Daniel picks up one of the vests, puts it on, and says, this is probably fine. This is fine, right? This is probably fine.
Zeta, it cleans up the rest of the mess and says, probably, but don't worry about it. I mean, it's a secure facility. I mean, he's being held here for rehab. They've got things under control.
Well, yeah, it's just, I'm a bit nervous he asked for me by name is all.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be something he's got to, apologize to the people he's wronged, or, just kind of move on.
At the point he says, apologize to the people he's wronged, Kara barks out a laugh. Just, ha!
This is Setsa.
He's accusing us of something.
Oh. Should we bring the Admiral here?
Which
Admiral? The Admiral lady who said you kind of got upset that I was in a box.
You mean the one from the trial?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but we don't know her availability. So.
All right. Well, I'm here to play my part.
I did tell him we had a trial.
Graves says, "All right. I think we're all assembled and ready to get underway."
Kara just waits for everybody to sit the hell down, closes the shuttle door, and launches.
It is a rather smooth drive down. Kara doesn't need to do any of the fancy flying that she could very well probably easily do. As she comes down to around the coordinates, you see got these views of what's going down, and you can see the landing pad and a number of people around it. There's a crate or two of cargo that's sort of sitting out there on the pad, apparently waiting for some kind of shuttlecraft to take the cargo away. Eventually, anyway, as Kara sits down on the pad.
Kara rechecks her pistol, holsters it, opens the door, stands up, and heads out.
Graves follows. Setsa and John stay behind with the shuttle.
Eli follows.
Welcome to New Sor. I'm glad that you could come here today and help us with our bit of an issue. Is that everyone that's... I don't see Waitley.
Well, Waitley's going to be with them and just kind of hanging around to the back.
Yeah, and that's when sort of Waitley sort of pulls his... comes out of the shuttle. There we go.
He can be the strong silent type.
Is there anyone else with you? You mentioned the possibility of additional security personnel.
Yeah, I got a couple officers just keeping an eye on the shuttle.
They may
Graves twirls a pen with one hand as he's talking.
All right. Well, please come in. We have a few things to discuss before you go to meet the mirror counterpart of your Richter. Please follow me.
Graves clicks his pen and says, "All right, yeah, follow."
Kara falls into step, right behind the captain, full of military bearing, eyes, looking around. She's not pleased to be here.
You're led into what appears to be some kind of administration building, past a counter and things. So whatever processes are, they seem to be waived as you're led through some corridors, making a couple of turns into what appears to be just sort of like a meeting, like a boardroom kind of thing. Please take your seats. I will. I guess I'll Rick here. However, we have had some roadblocks regarding the initial experiences of him entering your custody and things that related to his escape attempt. Specifically mentioned by him was the forcible removal of an arm through what was supposed to be a medical procedure to like medical treatment through explosives.
Graves raises,
Kara at that point is smirking.
Graves raises a hand and says, "It was a contingency measure designed to effectively remove the arm in case of basically nefarious use, as he was currently held as a prisoner following a hostile engagement with the ISS Reliant."
I would also like to clarify that it was an incendiary, a controlled incendiary, not an explosive.
Yep, properly calibrated just to, cleanly separate that arm.
I'm not here to make any judgments. I'm just here to express elements that have been expressed to me that have, caused some issues with recovery after such events. So I'm not asking you to explain yourselves. I'm just merely trying to present the situation with mirror tears and to why you are here as effectively as I can. Another potential issue is with you, Graves, that he has presented to us that there was another mirror universe counterpart on his ship, your counterpart, I believe, that was had taken asylum.
Yep, he did.
There is quite a bit of resentment that you allowed your counterpart asylum when no such even you wouldn't even speak with Mirror Rick.
Well, the mirror version of myself and I very quickly reached terms. He was very respectful and did not try to escape or injure my crew, and provided some pretty strong reassurances he would not do so, and hadn't even engaged in hostile actions in the first place. Like, he was completely in the dark to what was happening underneath him. Like, nice guy, but he's really not cut out for command.
Churog, he expressed repeated attempts of humiliation regarding a joke regarding him being harmless is what I've read.
Yeah, it was just a joke at his expense.
Well, he has expressed dismay that should his position be lowered, made as ridicule, that he would be directly at risk of, well, underlings trying to kill him, for lack of a better word. A joke.
He took a shot at me, he missed. I took a shot at him, I didn't.
Very
So
well.
if he hadn't taken a shot at me, then he'd still have that arm.
He is not taking issue with the firing of weapons. He is accepting that. It's just merely the jokes afterwards. Kara, I am just receiving general aggressive attitude and unwilling to listen.
Yeah, well, join the rest of the crew.
For Waitley, he is saying to you that his counseling sessions aboard the Reliant were rather inappropriate. Not that anything happened, just that, well, he wasn't being treated professionally, and he is refusing.
Graves raises a hand.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, a mere officer on an Imperial starship on an espionage run, let's call it, has a standard for counseling that we did not meet as compared to the mirror universe.
That's kind of hilarious.
I am merely saying that his expectations in that regard were unmet. I'm sure he will go into detail further regards to that when you see him. Though with TB, I'm not actually seeing anything here regarding any insult or perceived issue that he has with you. He has just merely requested that you come along with this.
Okay.
Knows what you did.
Okay. How does he know my name?
Well, there are still standards that we have to make, and there are records that he has access to that he apparently learned your name from.
Ah.
I'm certain this is all rather unusual, considering the nature of the circumstances for you and for all of you, and that you are in a bit of a catch-22 situation.
How so?
If everything is above board, then he is making up allegations to discredit you, and to deal with that, you are put into a situation where you might have to confront him directly. It is not. It does seem to be something that he is wanting.
Graves says, our actions were reviewed by the Starfleet Admiralty in detail. So I don't think, as far as official processes goes, that there's any major liabilities for the Reliant crew. He is, after all, someone who has not necessarily fulfilled his end of the bargain when it comes to negotiated deals as far as his asylum is concerned. So the major question arises that in seeking us in particular, is there more of a medical issue that perhaps by talking with us it helps his recovery? Or are we really dealing with a practical issue here where there is a legitimate concern for our behavior, in which case I will simply point to the Admiralty's review of the matter?
He pulls up a pad and scrolls through it. My understanding of the agreement that was made was that he would provide all that he knew about the makeup, the structure, the players involved in the mirror universe. And as far as I can see, that he has met those requirements here.
With 2 escape attempts since his initial capture. One of those was after we were working with him towards a rehabilitation recovery and eventual release under sore care.
There's also the suicide attempt when the trial didn't
That-
go in his favor.
Yeah, which that did that event precipitated into.
Yes. He is. Well, it is for that reason why we are here. You're probably aware that he is. You are aware that he was a commanding officer on a Terran Empire starship, a group known to be very dedicatedly, shall we say, pro-human, and well, not pro-human, but human only. And
Yeah, with exceptions, but very very despotic and very xenophobic. And in order to make it in that kind of society, commanding officers tend to be extremely ruthless. So, question arises for an individual such as that, in that position, who called D.B. Wells, who pushed him. Issue.
Yes, as I can't go into many of the details, but there have been long-standing trauma from his time. I can't go into the details once again because of various ethical restraints, but
Naturally.
it from what I am allowed to tell you, that he has expressed that he had hoped that by separating himself from the Terran Empire, that perhaps he would have been able to have a new start, and the various circumstances surrounding that meant that he couldn't, or at least that he feared he couldn't.
Kara stops the doctor right there and simply says, "You mean he couldn't on his terms?"
Not an unreasonable statement.
Yeah. So the question arises for hauling us here, someone who's been denied release on his terms to simply go about the galaxy without repercussions for things he did, including, kidnapping, attempted assault, attempted murder, infiltration of a Federation starbase.
If not by intent, then by actions, attempted genocide of an entire race.
Yeah, there are certainly limits to how far it can go, and certainly ethical issues we need to see to before he can have exactly what he wants. But for this given individual, there is the concern of whether or not us being here will really facilitate his recovery, or may come into, say, a revenge plan.
Well, I do believe that he is trying to resolve his issues.
All right. We can help with that. If there's anything we can do, certainly. My crew's available. We do have missions to attend to, so we can't spend an inordinate amount of time here on New Star, but we can, provide some assistance as you see fit, provided that it does not place my crew in jeopardy. So I will ask for a thorough review of your security protocols and contingency plans.
Which does lead me to the next question. He is currently being held in a bit of isolation right now. He is living on an island not far from here, where transporters, communications, and other links back to monitored and continually surveyed. Continued check-ins happen remotely, but due to the fact it is basically living on a deserted island and is prevented from leaving.
All right. And I take it you want us to go to this deserted island without communications to an individual who has specifically requested the people who have wronged him. And you have reason enough to be concerned about this individual to the effect that you have isolated him from your civilization.
It is definitely a risk. And as I said, this is a decision that I am not going to be forcing on you.
Well, for the dampening measures, do they prevent use of technology that has been brought to the island?
The technology brought to the island will remain valid. There is no dampening field regarding energy weapons.
All right.
Transporters, transporters and communications are the main thing that is being restricted.
All right. So what we could basically do then is to pop a hollow emitter outside of a shuttlecraft and have him or Rick talk to that hologram, not necessarily exposing us to the danger. May await us there.
Actually, I do not know if there are any. So, do you have a holographic emitter with you?
Not with me presently, but I can go have one beam down from Reliant.
There's one on the shuttle. Well, part of the shuttle.
Yeah, we can see how that goes. I'm not sure how he'll react to it. I do believe as you quite correctly surmised, the whole point was trying to deal with how we regard to.
Honestly, I don't care anymore. I'm fine with it. The guy wants to talk to me. Let him talk.
All right. Graves says, all right, yeah, and I think we'll eventually get to that point. I just want to have some contingency measures in place in case we need to take a little bit more of a cautious approach. But, yeah, this sounds fine. Got a team assembled, and I trust my people, so we can go ahead and take care of this.
Very well. I will give you coordinates and various codes for the to access to confirm authorization for you to land at the island.
Graves nods. Is there anything else we need to attend to?
With that all sorted, I don't believe so.
All right. Yes, we can get underway then, and we'll certainly report back as soon as we have anything to send back about Rick's condition and his recovery.
Car stands up. All right, let's get this train wreck rolling.
All right, so he hands you a data pad with the details that you need, and then please, once you leave, please contact me. You have my details. You're welcome to arrive or just communicate as you head back up to the Reliant. I hope things work out for, well, everyone.
All right. Yeah, we'll see.
Kara just follows the captain back out to the shuttle.
Captain leads the way. Captain leads the way back to the shuttle. Graves, you shall go for it.
Okay, so is Setzer and John still going to try and come with you?
Yeah, they're still going to be in the shuttle.
Okay.
They are watching over the high technology.
All right, so you take off and head towards the location. Once you get close, you're challenged for authorization to approach, and with the details you get, you send those off and get cleared to land. As you do so, you essentially find a very utilitarian metal gray kind of structure. It is not pretty. It is not a warm kind of house environment. It is a stark utilitarian, reminiscent of the prefab colony buildings.
Who's piloting?
Kara.
Kara. Don't land. We can just hover a bit off the ground. I got a bad feeling.
Captain.
Let's go ahead and hover and make a basically let's announce our presence.
All
You
right.
want to use the external speakers to blast some kind of weird music?
Not weird music. I'm just gonna get shout at him.
Damn.
Oh,
Kara just flips the speakers on for the captain to say whatever he's going to say.
Graves gets on the mic and says, "All right, Rick, Graves here. Not your Graves. The this universe's Graves. Come a long way, and not feeling entirely trusting. So might want to, come out, and say hi, say your piece, and start moving this forward."
There's a bit of a moment as for a moment silence sort of just settles the area. When the doors does eventually open and Mira Richt here does step out, it just sort of looks up to you. Are you going to come and talk with me, or are you just going to hover up there like you're somehow better than I am?
Well, if you're gonna put it like that, we can just go ahead and head out of here. But you want to
Captain,
talk?
let me torpedo him. Let me torpedo him.
No finger slips.
No, Graves says, if you're gonna take that approach, I mean, I am the Federation captain who's still in charge of a starship, and one that did defeat the ISS Reliant, and I have good reason to believe that I am currently in a better life situation than you right now, as you are on a deserted island separated from your civilization by a considerable margin. I can do a lot to improve your current situation, but if you're going to give that attitude, then it's not going to be as easy to get that help.
God, we're assholes.
What next?
We're going to
Fuck it, I'm landing. Kara just lands the shuttle.
I wanted to repel, damn it.
If I may, I'm not the most sociable person, but directly saying that you are better than the person you're trying to talk to doesn't seem like the best move or opening negotiations.
Oh, he's from the Mirror universe. It's asserting dominance.
Yeah, well,
Tactics.
let me go ahead and show you guys exactly how to do this. Kara opens the door and steps out, and basically glares daggers at Mirrick, and without preamble simply launches into, "Allow me to skip the pleasantries, since you would find them facetious. We don't like each other, and I'm content to maintain our relationship at the distance this mutual hatred engenders. If you have anything to say, say it."
Your Starfleet says a lot of things, and yet at your hands, which you're supposed to be Starfleet, I've been met with nothing but derision, aggression, and apparently many ethical issues regarding your behavior and what is acceptable and what is not. Why should I trust you at all when it comes to your actions?
Graves pipes up. Wait. Graves pipes up at this point. We have a ride out of here.
And Kara looks at him, and frankly, I'm not asking for your trust. You wanted to talk to me, because I have nothing to say to you.
When I first saw you, well, this, to be fair, it was, we are on opposite sides, but you never even thought to wonder what was going on with me, why I did what I did, why I was acting the way I was.
There's an extent of just following orders that we could have presumed by your actions on coming to Starbase Magellan with a hostile aggression that put a species in jeopardy.
And yet,
there's also the whole betraying your crew thing, which, your captain kind of told us about, and, saying your first officer was trying to do a mutiny when you were kind of doing the mutiny.
Also, for my part, I'm not obliged to try and understand you. My orders were to settle the situation. Understanding you is other people's job. The doctors, the court system, etc.
Whereas, Captain, here, I could have explained myself, I could have talked to you, but no, you refused. And
Graves,
yes,
or
I.
Graves, Graves at this point, hops out of the shuttle and closes the door behind him.
Wait, we're still.
He's going to take a moment here. He's going to take a moment. He's going to come over to Rick, and he's strolling across the breach, looking pretty nonchalant. But as he gets closer, his stance is hardening. Graves approaches Rick and says, "Because of what you did, the only person that I feel a connection to in this universe is scared to touch a replicator because of what it might mean for her Borg implants to accidentally infect the ship and destroy it like she destroyed ISS Reliant. I'm having to deal with that trauma that person suffered as a result of callous imperiousness of the Terran Empire. So no, I didn't talk to you because I didn't want to lump that with you. So I know you were following orders and didn't intend for that to happen, but it happened."
And yes, I was following orders by the very man that you gave asylum to. You say that he is fine, but how can he not be at least complicit with everything that his crew did? That everything that I did to survive?
Graves, at this point, he motions at John, and the door opens again. So the rest of the crew now can hear. But he says at this point, your counterpart did a lot to atone for what he's done. He is in rehab. He is on another world, and he is taking to that earnestly. He's not looking to blame other people for not understanding him. The first thing he's doing is looking inside himself. He is not materially benefiting, apart from the fact that he is taking that opportunity again to fix himself and not blame others.
And perhaps most importantly, he's not constantly fighting the system.
The system. System. Do you even know or do you even care how I ended up in that system? How I became who I am?
No.
Oof. Graves blinks at that and says, to an extent, but when would this have come up for us in particular? So for DB, who tripped you, for Eli, who was justifiably taking a precautionary measure against your attempted escape.
Within regulation, I might add. General Order
Yes.
33.
So there's a point for us trying to understand you, but did you try to understand where we were coming from?
Did you ever want to think, when I tried to escape, why there weren't more casualties? I
You
could have
took a very
destroyed. I could have destroyed your ship.
Debatable. We did appreciate that. That's why we didn't object to you pursuing asylum. That's why we didn't make a security case that you should be under additional lock and key. And I am dismayed that you are in this situation, that you are on an island in the middle of nowhere with a very rustic set of accommodations, which does not justify it's not justified by past action. The degree of isolation you have. This is something you would do for the Emperor, not a second in command of a light frigate on a espionage run.
Would you even believe that I asked for this? To be alone?
I could see it. It's just that question of you're alone and in that self-isolation. But is that really what you want?
Do I want to be scared my entire life that the person next to me might suddenly stab a dagger in my heart? That my closest friend might be plotting to undermine me? That every step I take might be taken away from me at a moment's notice on a whim?
Where I grew up, we didn't have daggers, but emotionally, that's the game we played. Orentia is not a kind colony world. And yeah, in business and dealing with certain circles, people who you thought were your closest friends could indeed stab you in the back, stab you in the heart, and stab you in several other places too, while they were at it, just for fun. And it took years, but I've got people on my back now who I have no fear of stabbing me in any particular way. So the question is, for your self-isolation, it's what gets you that immediate relief? Does it get you what you want?
I would love to have a family, to have someone that I could hold, but all that's gone. I left. All that was taken from me when I was 8 years old. I watched Terran Empire come and destroy our little colony of the few survivors of our homeworlds being swallowed by our star. I am the last of my people in the mirror universe, and I am only alive because the people that killed my parents adopted me, raised me as a Terran, put me in through the Terran Academy, paraded me around as one of them.
And you obviously aren't. Not in your heart.
And yet every little deviation from Terran standard behavior, people pointed me, and to survive, I had to become the most Terranist non-Terran. I've done a lot of things that I wish I never had to do. Sometimes I wish that I died when I was 8, that I didn't. And he just sort of sits down and sort of on the thing and not have to deal with any of it.
Graves sits down opposite him. Graves sighs and says, you have the responsibility of living, of making the best you can out of a very difficult and painful situation for things that were done to you and things you did. The only thing I can recommend is that you try to atone by having a positive impact. You don't let what was done to you change how you treat others. Because there's other people out there that would wish that someone would come along and help them like you wanted to be helped. And you could conceivably be that person if you're willing to step up and to seek that atonement.
You didn't offer to help me, and I can't get past that yet.
What were we supposed to do? You just flailed about, screaming. You didn't want to be helped, it seemed like. You wanted to just keep being Terran. That might work over there, but here it's different.
Did you even try to look past the surface?
Yes, and then you tried to fucking escape and I had to blow up your arm.
Graves says, again, where you want to start the thinking is less about how others wronged you, but how you can improve your situation. Because you've got people listening here. You got me sitting down right now. And I can write a report. And I can do more than that. This does not look like it's helping you. And as the captain who was ultimately responsible for your capture, I have a responsibility to that. So, Graves kind of looks back to any of the other crew members.
Kara's just leaning against the shuttle. She's already said what little piece she had.
Orog?
Chog's been sitting near the shuttle listening to the whole conversation. Part of the problem is what happened when Chog blew his arm off. So Chog finally stands up, walks past Kara, pulls out his destructor pistols, hands them to Kara, says, "Whatever happens, don't intervene."
You got it.
Chog walks over to Mirror Rick. "I think part of the problem is you need closure about that arm that I blew off. I'm unarmed. I'm not here to hurt you. Fact of the matter is, you shot, you missed, I shot, I didn't. And yes, I did make jokes at your expense. And for that, I am sorry. I should not have done that. Because when it comes down to it, you and I are not that far apart. Both of us came from backgrounds where Anger and rage ruled us. It was a fight to survive, kill or be killed. But then I found these people, and they helped me get over that. Open up to them. They'll help you too. I'll help you.
Did
we
you know,
lose Rick?
Did you know that I, in my own way, tried to reach out? It was, I was never good at it. I couldn't be.
It's time to put your past behind you like I did. Like I said, I came from a past that was incredibly violent. You never knew who was going to try to stab you in the back and take your spot. Well, I understand the Terran Empire is the same way. But you're past that. You're done with them now. Come with us. Let us help you. Like they helped me.
Kara at this point goes, whoa, wait a minute.
Frog turns back. Kara, let me finish. I am not the same pirate that I was when I first joined these people. They taught me what it is to be respectful and find purpose in my life. And they'll help you. Trog offers his hand to Rick. I offer you the hand of apology and friendship.
He looks up to Churog. You can see tears sort of welling up. They're not starting to fall, but they're close. He looks to the side, and you see this. He does have two arms. One is his natural arm, and the other is a very bare bones, cybernetic. No skin, no tissue, just pistons and like bone, metal and motors and things. Everything that allows an arm to function, but nothing more. You can see right through the middle of it. It is there is nothing that's preventing any part of it from being seen. With that one, he decides to reach out.
Trog takes the crude cybernetic arm and shakes it. First thing we should do. I know a guy that can make that arm look like your other arm, like it make you feel like you have two natural arms.
If it's me, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no offense to Dr. O'Connor, but no.
Yeah, there's a robotics expert that I know back from my pirate days. Very good limb guy. He could fix your arm up so you swear you had two natural arms.
He just pauses for a moment, thinking over it before starting to nod. All right, I will accept your help.
With your permission, Captain.
Graves. Thanks for a minute. Right. So, I will have to make a call first, because I don't want to do anything that could...
But we can't do it from here because they block communication. What a conundrum.
Yeah, so... Chorog.
You want me to hack the signal, right?
No, like, we're actually kind of blocked here. So we can move the shuttlecraft outside and, allow a call, but basically, you wouldn't mind staying here for, 20 minutes, half hour, something like that.
You can count on me, Captain.
All right. Yep. Anyone else who wants to just kind of hang around here? And is Marcus is saying that John is ambling off the shuttlecraft and kind of heading towards the beach.
I'm not staying here.
Okay, yeah, the rest of us, we can head back to the shuttle, and, put in a call with, the counseling center, and, see what we can do.
Captain, before you go, I would like you... I had this whole convoluted thing planned out, but things never go how you expect them to.
No.
I have to admit I was planning on, trapping you here, at least temporarily.
Yeah, you kind of tipped the hand when you asked for DB.
If I am willing to take whatever heat comes off it, but if you would like to actually see what I've set up, I'm actually somewhat proud of it.
Right. Yeah, we can go ahead and do a little bit of a, or me and Chora can actually do a little bit of a tour. Yeah, it'll just take a minute, and then then we can put in a call with the counseling center, and see what we can do.
Whenever you're ready.
Graves nods, but out of character, it is also getting a little bit late, so
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure this isn't going to be a two-parter, because it's going to be a while before I can resume a two-parter.
Yeah, no. This is, so I will quickly go over. He does it to others. He was planning on these. He developed these like sort of uh how like crossbow kind of things that shot what would be like what would encapsulate a person and transport them through the wire, so that would technically shield them from the disruption, and then transport them to these pods that he had in this little central base. He points out this little arm thing that he would have the doctor put on that had beeps and whistles. It was mainly as a sort of like, you never know when your arm's going to blow off kind of thing. But it wasn't going to actually blow off. It was just meant to imply that anything might actually happen.
Graves is glad, as he's going through this, Graves is kind of nodding and just like, Graves is really glad that the rest of the crew, besides Chorog, is not going on the tour with him. Graves is like,
Kara probably would shoot him now.
By the I didn't really, there wasn't really a good time to say, but Daniel is staying behind as well, just cause.
At the very least, he can build sandcastles with John.
Is that DB going on the tour?
Yeah, sure, why not?
And one room would be one where Chorog would have to press a button, and then his hand then it would trap his hand and threaten to crush it, to let everyone else move on to stop him from his plans and to find out what happened to others. And
so we basically just shortcutted your episode of Saw.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm glad I'm not going on the tour, because that's the kind of psychopath shit. It's like, yeah, no, we're not letting him off this island.
And there's sort of, it would end with the captain, and the only way to open this last door is for you to sacrifice someone for the same sort of transporter beam to take the last person and hide them away. At that point, the last door would open, and it would be Rick and this last person in the same room where all these pods, and at that point, whatever final showdown, if there was going to be a final showdown or convincing, whatever would happen would happen at that point with whomever was left standing. I have no more reason to lie from you. I have said what I've needed to say. You've said what you've had to say, and surprisingly, it has been what I needed to hear.
Yeah, and I'm really glad we could resolve it this way, rather than any other way.
Holy shit, man, I was drunk and accidentally bumped into you from behind.
Great drugs. Like, you never know what'll stick with someone.
I am showing you this because I've moved past it now. Whether or not you believe me, I don't know, and frankly, I don't really care, but I think now, eventually I can find my peace, whatever that turns out to be.
All right. Well, I mean, the fact that you built all this under the current circumstances is impressive for the scale of engineering involved. So, I mean, one possible path, again, it worked for me, is Starfleet Academy. I could write you a letter of recommendation, although I will have to be very not specific about this in particular and talk about some other stuff I might have to lie about. But, yeah, if you want to go down that path.
It's far too early. I, honest, hadn't really even thought about what was going to be my life after all this. I was half
Now, there's-
expecting to die.
Well, definitely take some time. Definitely sleep on it. Definitely get into contact. I mean, your counselors are going to be your, one potential source. But yeah, us, Rick, Chorog. I mean, feel free to reach out to us too. I mean, certainly comms is going to be an easy way of reaching that. As we head back out to the Magellan. But yeah, just don't bottle yourself up.
Well, I think there's nothing left to do now. I will,
All right. Well,
thank you for coming. And he will actually try and reach out and hug you.
Ed Graves returns the hug.
Daniel just kind of shuffles his feet and says, "So, the mirror dimension. I could really see myself living there."
You don't want to. Even
Mirror
it's-
dimension. See myself living there.
Graves pinches the bridge of his nose and says, "There's a time and a place. Just time and a place."
Okay, sorry, I've had that one brewing all day. There wasn't really a good time to.
I appreciate the attempt at humor, but well, I'm once again sorry for everything.
Graves nods and says, "All right, well, I gotta make some calls. Chorog will be here. John will be here. DB, do you want to stay behind for a bit?"
Okay.
Graves says in the presumed torture chamber.
I mean, there's nothing really graphic. There's
Oh,
just sort of
the whole,
empty, sort of like cylindrical chamber things.
Graves waves and heads out of the room, leaving DB and Mirror Rick in the chamber.
When he comes back out, Kara's busy picking her nails, leaning against the shuttle. She just looks up. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Gonna make a call, then we'll be back to pick up our people, and yeah.
Eli's inside the shuttle, just flipping a Zippo open and closed.
Hi, Captain. She salutes and stands up straight, and then just walks into the shuttle and sits down at the con station.
And with that, the shuttle heads out, and they have a chat with the counselor people.
Does Graves tell us about what was in there?
No, he does not.
Graves is smarter than that.
Wait, can I get an empathic read on if it was some freaky shit?
Actually, Graves isn't going to be thinking about that. Like, he's just kind of prepping up for the conversation he's going to have with the counselor. So he's already kind of put it in.
No, I'm kidding.
He's put it out of mind. There might be other opportunities to catch him with the info. I would say it would be precipitated by another scene. Like if the subject of Mirror comes up again, whenever it does come up again, you can challenge that scene and how Graves reacts to it to see if he remembers the chambers first. So it's now a long-term game of hide and seek.
We could also just ask Daniel.
Or you could do that.
So, just to finish up, once the captain goes, Mirrick goes, saying this is no longer going to be used, I might as well start tearing it down.
I guess I'll help you with that, buddy old pal. I'm just gonna go over here.
All right.
Yeah, DB, why don't you just go pass out on the beach?
And he starts to pull out his engineering kit that he has. There is a simple transporter a replicator, which would allow for, basic repair equipment, and he's been able to jerry-rig a lot of most of the stuff, clothing and stuff, out of what he's been allowed to replicate. And starts bolt by bolt tearing this whole complicated thing down.
Trog lends a hand, considering he's very good at disassembling things.
Special audience note, disassembling things and breaking things are slightly different. Chorog is good at both.
Mirror is also actually good at both. He goes from, after a few minutes, he goes, "This is rather taking your time. I really wish we could have explosives, or I could try and funnel a feedback loop through the EPS conduits to blow this entire section up."
Well, why didn't you just say so in the first place? As Charog begins to jerry-rig the system.
Daniel wanders back over. So I think, did I hear the word explosives?
Yes, now if I were you, I'd duck and cover.
Actually, if I were you, I'd probably just go out to the beach. Well, it'll probably take a few minutes for the feedback loop to build up to a stage where it's gonna get that explosive. But the further you are away from here, the better.
Charog finds a small bucket-like thing on the ground, picks it up, tosses it at TV. Here, go build a sandcastle far away.
Daniel just kind of looks down at the bucket, looks back at them, and just puts the bucket on his head as a helmet and just walks away.
Alright, so that's where I think we're going to end it for the main storyline. Is there anything else that people want to do before afterwards?
I got one short scene.
I'm good.
So, back after her uneventful day of, pretending to be a con officer and not ultimately having to be in that role, Setsa just kind of settles down in her bunk for the night. Pretty uncomfortable, though, and just the feeling of plugging herself back in for another night's sleep, and kind of rubs her arm as she fades off into bed.
Any other scenes, or we're going to close it for this episode?
What is DB doing when he gets back to the ship?
Daniel...
Cleaning the sand out of his shorts.
Daniel is just kind of walks it, is a little bit shell-shocked from the explosion. Just a little bit, though. And just kind of walking down the hall, going back to his room.
Eli is standing outside his room as he approaches, just leaning against the wall.
Can I help you?
What did you see on that tour? I have really bad feelings.
Daniel looks both ways to see if anyone is nearby, and then goes for the good old-fashioned walk and talk off camera with Eli saying, "So, have you ever heard of these old Earth movies called Saw?"
My father's made me watch them before, yes. This is not good. I don't like this.
But yeah, just that fading off into the distance as we walk and talk off camera.
Alrighty then, that's where we're going to end it for tonight. Thank you for joining. Thank you, and don't forget, you can send us an email at reliant@starbaseuDC.com for any feedback, for any more Saw puzzle challenges that you might think would have gone on with in there, or fan art, or quick story of your own, whatever. Reach out to us at reliant@starbaseuDC.com.
And everyone should be thankful that the captain is who it is.
And happy Hanukkah, everybody. We got one more night left.
Hey!
Hey!
Mazel tov.
And kids, make sure you put out plenty of Gawk and War Dog for Santa Claus.